All right, happy full moon. Full moon in Virgo. Those that are coming in love and light, high vibes and positivity. Greetings and welcome. Thank you for stopping by. I know I haven't did the reading. For those I know I haven't did the reading. For those of you that like Bloomy Bloom's infamous layered readings. I know. Okay, it's coming. Sometimes I stall on purpose. Keeps things fresh, right? So I hope you all are utilizing the full moon energy in the most high vibrational way for you if you're resonating with working with the energy of the moon in a positive light. Taking full advantage, which means sometimes we do have to slow down a little bit, that time of reflection, so you don't be cranking out as often. At least that's how I feel about me, okay? But I wanted to talk about a repost that I shared today. I think I shared like 3 different reposts of other content creators, but it was, what is his name? It was one of the ones that I do follow. We're not in collaboration. They may not even know I exist, okay? I have to throw it out there because people almost assume that, oh, like when people share, it's like they don't even be knowing you and shit. Like it ain't like that, okay? But it was something that he said in his video that made me really think. I'm like, And as I reposted it, I put, it's time for vegetables. His quote, or should I say what he says that he teaches people, he's like some type of a life coach or people who have survived narcissistic abuse or something to that effect. And he said, he tells people he likes to equate, dessert versus vegetables, likened to connections. And he said something, I may mess up how he said it, but it was something along the lines of, dessert is delicious. We love it. It tastes great. It's exciting immediately. And then oftentimes it's followed by some type of regret, right? Depending, like if we feel bad that we ate that or if we overindulged, like you get that initial satisfaction quickly. It's exciting. It tastes good. Followed by maybe it wasn't so good in the long haul. Maybe it caused something, right? Then he went into versus the vegetables. The vegetables is not that exciting at first. Nobody is in a hurry unless you're just a person that's naturally inclined to like a lot of vegetables. But by standard, nobody's in a big old super duper hurry to, eat the vegetables. It doesn't seem exciting. It's not instant gratification, anything like that. But in the long haul, it's what's good for you. And as I thought about that, I was like, time for vegetables. This is something that we can all be reflecting on right now. Another thing that came to my mind is like, I look at it like stages of growth or stages of development, phases of life. When we're younger, and younger could be different for everybody because chronologically, just to be frank, that doesn't mean much. I know a lot of young people that has like maybe older souls, and then I know some old people that's stuck and stagnated. So I'm going to just say, stages of development. Our earlier phases and stages of life, like most of us, no matter what type of heart we have, like most of us, we want instant. We want dessert. We want Willy Wonka in the chocolate factory. We want that, it's delicious, it's exciting, it's exhilarating, it's fun, it tastes good, it feels good in that moment, and then we have a tummy ache later. Okay, we overindulge. Maybe it wasn't good for us. Maybe it wasn't good for our sugar levels or whatever the case may be. But going down, it felt good though. Eating it, indulging in it, It was quick, it was a rush, it was a high, it was fast, and it just cost us later. As we develop a lifestyle like that, for those of us that maybe we stayed stagnated in stages of development and kind of got addicted to that way of life, so then we get addicted to chasing that type of thing. And each one of these scenarios always feel just like it does when you eat dessert, when you eat candy. It tastes good, it's exciting, it looks good, it's a thrill, it's instant gratification, it's all of those things. And then a month later, we're regretting ever knowing the person at all. We are regretting ever even indulging or meeting or dealing. It gave us our instant gratification, but it came with a high price. Over time, I believe that for those of us that are ready and embrace that, we start to look at the vegetables with a different connotation. Instead of going like when we're kids, we're like, ew. Remember? Ew, yucky. I don't want to eat Brussels sprouts. Ew. Like when we're kids, it's this resistance. It's this negative connotation to it. Boring. Ew. I want an ice cream sundae. Ew. Over time, I think we start to realize that, well, there's so many ways we can make these vegetables be divine. Shit. You can saute these motherfuckers. You can put all kind of good seasoning, bitch. You can choose the vegetables that you like best so that it's easy to digest. Oh, look it. I'm rhyming. Okay, anyway. And you can flavor it up. You can have a different attitude about it, which changes the game. It changes how you feel. And then you start to see the benefit and the value. Like, I think I like the vegetables. My stomach don't hurt. It ain't running my sugar up through the roof, bitch. You heard? I feel good. I feel good. And not in that instant gratification way that kills me later in life. I feel good in a whole sense. More exuberance, more clear, more grounded, more centered. It's time for vegetables. Could even be time for us to change our view. Metaphoric vegetables, symbolic vegetables. It's time for us to change our attitude and perceptions about that on a subconscious level, on a conditioning level, because if we don't go there, it's not going anywhere. Because a lot of us do ask ourselves the question, why do we live on an endless cycle of the same old, same old? Why do we have a tendency to pick and attract? I think this very same young man said something that we're always attracting one way or the other. What makes the difference is, have you healed, learned, and grown enough to where you start to choose differently? We're never going to not attract toxicity. And I know that was like a double, triple negative, maybe never gonna not. But because that's just not the nature of Earth, our surroundings, the experiences outside of us. But what changes is what we're paying attention into and what we're willing to invest in. And when we shift our own frequency to such a degree that our pickers, I call it our pickers are now different. Because you're going to still have some low lives. If anybody is telling anybody that they can get to a place where they're not attracting low lives, that's not 100% accurate. There's going to be low lives, okay? But it's us, right? Are we eating our metaphoric vegetables? Have we shifted our energy and perception and vibration to that of being that of like a child, wanting dessert constantly, always, instantly, no matter what its cost is or how detrimental to our well-being, into that of it's time for vegetables? Somebody's going to say, man, I always get this. Somebody's going to be like, damn, so you trying to say I can't have no more fun? You're trying to say what you're trying to say. Trying to say we can't have a good time. Actually, quite the opposite. I feel like life becomes a lot more enjoyable with less and less of that toxic, nasty ricochet in effect when we're making better decisions. Because we're not constantly healing from one cray-cray after the next. We're not constantly needing to, unpackage from hopping from one dessert package after the next. So we finally get to build up a level of momentum that we never gain as long as we're living in a mindset of I must have dessert constantly, always. No matter what it costs me. They can be crazy. They can be, Misery Kathy Batesy. They could be Glenn Close, Fatal Attraction-y. They could be, American Psycho-y. They can be, Hannibal Lecter-y. They can be, as long as I get my instant dessert, as long as I get my instant gratification. You will never build momentum as long as you're hopping from one of those situations after the next. When we've given ourselves enough alone time and space for true healing and clearing and then growing up, our pickers change. We start to reprioritize. We start to realize what true living is. In our younger years, we think living is being able to have constant dessert, metaphorically. I need it to be exciting and I need to have all of my instant gratification now. I need it to taste good. I need it to be good. I need it to be great. Excellent. Now. Bypassing all signs that are saying caution, caution, caution for this instant gratification. True maturation or maturity is just not about somebody knowing how to say the word maturation or maturity, or someone that just knows how to research and regurgitate things. It's an inside job that is applied in day-to-day life. In other words, not blown and tossed to and from with every wind of excitement. Ooh, 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 dessert, 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 dessert. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, look at that. It could be a crazy. It could be a killer. It can be somebody that don't take lightly to you saying the word no. But it's fun. In the moment. It's time for us to have some vegetables. And it's time for us to treat vegetables with some honor and respect. It's time for us to give vegetables a present. This is all symbolism. It's time for us to come in with an energy, mindset, and attitude towards vegetables as we would the banana split with all the banana split with all of the fixings. Because then maybe we'll get more benefit. Maybe it'll even feel different to us. Maybe it'll even go down differently as we chew on it and swallow it. Right? It's time for vegetables. Okay? Vegetables. It may not be all that super, super exciting and tasty, but it's good for what ails you. Vegetables. It's not even for what ails you. It's good for, because see, that even has a negative connotation. It's good for your vitality over time. It's good for your vitality. It's good for wanting an optimum lifespan experience in the physical. The dessert, longevity, is going to be wear and tear, may shorten your span, may decrease the quality of life, but it's fun, isn't it? And for somebody who likes junk, I get it. Junk food, right? Snacks. And it takes a level of dealing with the whole subconscious and what's happening. We're usually trying to get ourselves in some type of a feel-good energy due to some type of traumas and some fucking crazy circumstances or whatever, which is what it's designed to do, by the way. But that's another video. This is all a part of the game. To get you to fuck yourself up yourself, bitch. Trying to feel better, right? But what if there's a different way? So I invite you all with this full moon energy, when you're feeling comfortable and settled and guided, what is your metaphoric dessert and what is your metaphoric vegetables? And what would be the path of least resistance to get you into alignment with a different attitude and view of your symbolic vegetables and of releasing your symbolic dessert? The most loving and gracious way possible for you, with the intention of creating and manifesting and lining up to the life that inside you say every day that you want, you desire, and you wish for. But it starts with a day. I say this, collective, because we get overwhelmed when we look at the massive condition that we're in, or the massive things we have created, or the massive things we have dealt with or we're dealing with. And when we come from that place, it can feel hopeless and overwhelming. But one moment, one day, one step, one breath. One moment, one day, one step, one breath, one choice, one decision, one willful, intentional act of eating vegetables at a time, metaphorically speaking. And then doing that over and then doing that over and over. And so next thing you know, you've built up momentum. But you took it one moment, one day, one step at a time. Are you haunted by your addiction to dessert? Metaphoric, symbolic dessert, and it's lingering about you, your energy, your home, and your space. It's time for us to dove within, trace and face all those things with love and with grace, so that you can release, ascend, heal, and move on. What vegetables is your soul guiding you to shift your perspective on, that will change your life in the higher vibrational way like never before.